All right, guys, welcome back. We have some North American Dota for you, and this is a big one.
Yes.
I think we're both very, very hyped for this, right?
Both of us.
I was going to say, all of us, I
mean,
would hope.
it is both. Like,
which of us isn't hyped?
It's Moxie. She gave it away.
I'm excited. I'm very excited to see this. This is going to be Forward Gaming versus Evil Geniuses.
Yes.
And this is the big one, right? EG is the kings of North America right now in terms of professional Dota 2. But what do you think we're going to see coming out from them? I know, Kips, you were looking at some of the drafts, and you said they've been picking very diverse choices here.
Yeah, very different drafts. Sometimes extremely fast push strategies. I saw Luna Clink somewhere earlier. But they also definitely sometimes go back to stuff like, the Fly Phoenix, Tide Hunters offlane, that sort of thing. So that honestly, I have no idea. Whereas from Forward Gaming, the classic is obviously that you're going to see Rezo have that big carry, duke it out with the entire enemy team in the end, basically. And I actually wanted to look at their drafts as well, but didn't quite have the time anymore. I was so caught up in the Minesweeper stream.
It was very exciting, right? One wrong click, and everything is going to get ruined.
Palpable.
Very palpable.
And especially because it's Scriff doing it.
Right. You can just see him in the back room just sweating it out, right?
Did he ever finish that? I wasn't paying attention.
No,
I don't think
he's finished it.
Anticlimactic right there.
Right.
It's unfortunate. No, but obviously this is the really hyped series again. In case of a major spot on the line, if you lose, you're still in it. You still have a shot in the end, but you'd rather take care of business now, of course.
Right.
One of those three spots.
Take that easier, but we do have a draft going on right now. We've got the Lich pickup. That's been something that's been fairly standard straight across all the regions. Still very, very strong. And again, we joke, got that tiny nerf, the nerf where he doesn't slow quite as much. Totally ruined the hero. Obviously.
Needs a little more probably, but this hero was, again, top pick at the major. This is one of the top picks in these qualifiers now, and yeah, fantastic slide right there.
Yeah, I know.
Props.
Kips has been working on this. At the end of the time here, she's going to be able to just throw anything, just smoothly across.
Line them all up myself.
Perfect.
The pairing usually would be that Juggernaut, but again, you see Evil Geniuses banning the Juggernaut, but still, Lich Justice himself is a very, very good hero to pick up. Bane, Elder Titan. Bane, specifically. That's the one that's a bit different here, being ran by EG.
Yeah, that's usually a hero we see a lot in the South American region. It provides really nice capabilities with being able to have that disable with the Nightmare, and also, having the BKB piercing ultimate with the Fiend's Grip. And then, of course, Enfeeble, right? We talked about how that's been playing into a lot of these different spells now.
Yeah. I suppose it's a bit of a fly specialty, too, hero that he prefers to play. He likes a lot more of these potentially defensive capability heroes, and of course with that Nightmare, as you mentioned, a good tool for that. I wouldn't put it on the top of his list, not like a Phoenix or a Wyvern by any means, but it's definitely up there. A unique one for him.
It'd be interesting to see what they decide how they want to run this, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaving the Bane and the Elder Titan here just in case, we have a tri-lane. We've been seeing a lot of tri-lanes recently. And I think in this case, you have a lot of disables from the Bane being a good setup for the Elder Titan as well. Because one of the problems with an Elder Titan is it's a defensive support. You're waiting for people to run into you or for you to get that setup. So I like that as an opening combination. And then the Darks here from forward, I imagine, okay, they're banning out the Doom now, so they do not want to have one of those gentlemen's agreements.
Right.
But you'd also, and obviously an Oracle pick would be very unexpected out of EG by now because they don't have any support slots left.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, it's a safe Darkseer pick as you're getting at there with
10 seconds remaining.
The no chance really of the Oracle unless a core Bane comes out, but then you're making Evil Geniuses do something extra funky right there. But yeah, no, Darkseer is arguably one of their stronger heroes, at least in the laning phase throughout this tournament. But I go back to that laning phase hasn't necessarily transitioned all the time. There's been plenty of games where this hero's top net worth and, being annoying to the other carry, but then coming on the laning phase, seems like the impact can die off. Now, the other aspect of that, there have been games where that vacuum wall's very potent. If you happen to be going up against like an anti-mage or something where those illusion creations are going to be extra beneficial. Very, very good value out of it. But yeah, Surge itself is always going to be good, and he will ideally do well / win his lane. That's why people seem to favor him right now.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to bully him out of lane, especially the way that they've been playing him. You know, you just cut the waves. If you're trying to be extra efficient, making sure that you're pulling it into another camp, getting more CS based off of that. So it'll be interesting to see how they decide to kind of deal with this Darkseer, if they decide to even, you know, really bother with dealing with it during lane phase at all.
I mean, the Bane is decent. If you get the sleep off after he surges, you're pretty good. And then, of course, you can always follow up with a stomp now. And forward here is just banning out the Nikes. They don't want to deal with a carry that can farm really nicely into it. Juggernaut's already banned, so EG, whoever they pick up is most likely going to be at least mildly annoyed if they have to deal with that Darkseer.
Yeah, and so the other way to answer that, though, goes back to you just send your offlane against the Darkseer.
Yep.
And you just run that tri-lane. And so now if you're Evil Geniuses, I was going to say, think of a hero that makes sense to go in an aggressive tri-lane even, and Luna definitely fits that mold. We've seen plenty of aggressive tri-lane Luna strategies, so I would assume that's at least part of the reason here for the Luna pick on top of her, of course, skill set across the board. Very, very good. Kind of fits the theme what EG likes to do, you know, pushing together as a team, doing objectives. She's a master at that, especially with that new aura.
And it's also going to be nice, too, if they decide to run something, if they decide to go like a little aggro with this, you know, you've got that nice camp right on the side for your Elder Titan, right? Elder Titan really thrives off of, you know, any sort of tri-land that's up against, but also if you can stack up creeps. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do run something aggro that we might see, you know, them trying to block that camp. We often see him, too, starting off at a different lane and then using that Acid Spirit, just watching it just, you know, surfboard through the mid lane, hopefully hitting as many people as possible, but...
Yeah, we've seen plus 150 damage sometimes if you use it appropriately like that, and that's quite a bit. 200 damage, a thwack right there. You got to respect that. So they're using a lot of time already under a minute reserve with a third pick even. They still need a position 4 support. Tusk is not there. Never mind. I was going to say he was still there, but nope.
No, I mean, there's still a Grimstroke, which goes very, very well with a Lich if they want to try to go for something like that. It also, lots of other spells pairs nicely. They go for the Tiny, though. That's something we've seen, again, very commonly across the board.
Yeah, oh, that's me.
Yeah, that one's you, actually.
Finally have to get up here.
Gift Pig.
All right.
I'll take my seat.
So Tiny Radiant, huh?
Oh, nice.
Assume put over there for now.
Oh no, that is interesting.
That's almost there. That's
so if this ends up, for example, being an aggressive tri-lane from the Dire side, I think you could, like, this Sand King can go toe-to-toe with the Darkseer really well, or they could indeed both be pulling their waves. SK is very good at, you know, escaping any attempts to stop him from doing that. And very much a fast pickup as well. This is not an offlane who needs a lot of farm. It just wants that Blink Dagger.
What was that ooh about, Break?
Sand King. I mean, that's just
he
ooh
doesn't
as
know
far
where
as...
to find that.
Yeah, we haven't picked this one yet.
On the left.
He's in the dustbin with the Warlock.
Yeah,
that we found earlier.
Shadow Demon here. Okay, this is a hero. It's been a while. It's been relevant. Although post 7.20, we saw a lot of Sand King because of the Sandstorm and how strong it was. But they obviously toned that down quite a bit, and I think that's what helped kill him off in the current meta.
And here's a man who can definitely help you kill a Sand King and or separate the Luna from her team, if you so desire.
10 seconds remaining.
Plus, he's very good in lane. If you combine him up with that Lich, you can jump with a shield on you. Nobody's getting away from you. Or you can, if you're under fire, you have both damage resistance as well as that you're just able to turn back time, so to speak.
One that can combat pretty well in a tri-lane sense is on top of that. So again, if we're expecting maybe the Luna aggressive tri-lane, or they could tri-lane themselves, I want to get that solo matchup.
Interested to, because Faceless Void still strikes me as the kind of hero who won't do too well in a tri-lane situation. You'd probably rather dodge that out. And Lich, Tiny though, like, they have a lot of ways to outplay on this tri-lane.
Yeah.
If you're on forward game. Tossing people into a tower, into people waiting behind. There's a lot to do there.
I mean, we saw Moose in South America, right? Constantly, always, whenever we saw the opening, he took it, he'd go, he'd get a toss back, and it ended up being just absolutely ridiculous, the amount of times. I think, was it, I don't remember, but I remember it was like the off lane, just a horrible, horrible time because he just would come forward a little bit, immediately the toss back, they slow him down, stun him, and just murder constantly.
They banned Lina. Now, you know, we saw the other day Lina into the Huskar matchup, fantastic against him, but I'm looking at if they were to go Huskar here, is it really that good against Forward Gaming, what they're bringing to the table right now? And it doesn't feel like it, so I don't think it's setting up for that, but...
could be an OD pick as well.
Yeah, there's still an OD left in the pool.
That's here we've seen.
They banned Pugna. Yeah, we're probably going to see OD.
Yeah. So the OD is going the other way, yeah.
Yeah, there's no way OD is going to be left over for Evil.
I think that one's on my side, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I remember picking up a lot of ODs, because OD has been getting a lot of business.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of, what is it, Luna, Lifestealer, OD. These are kind of like the winners, it feels like, of this patch so far.
OD's, yeah, up there for sure.
10 seconds remaining.
Now a hero for Sumail into the OD matchup.
It's going to be rough.
Dazzle's still in the pool. And I know he has been running that. We also know that Dazzle just wins that matchup straight up. We've seen it multiple times now.
Rubik, go back to that.
Yeah, would fit the Luna like push lineup as well, but on the other hand, it might mean you then you have a solo core Luna, which is a bit of a gamble into definitely a dual core lineup on the other side.
What about a Razor?
Razor, yes, could work as well.
Also a lane dominator would be kind of handy if you've got, you know, that Faceless Void gets a nice Chronosphere, but Razor's on the outside just saps the damage.
They have Surge and Toss to kind of help against link targets.
True, true.
So I do like it for the laning stage, but throughout the game that could be annoying for when you're trying to link targets up.
Right.
He is a lot beefier though. You could also Clinks also works. Yes,
I just saw that actually.
Yeah, it's didn't do well last game, but that was a much different matchup there.
This is Sumail too. We have to keep
Sumail. Yeah, it's just many reasons.
Great pickup into OD. I'm not sure why I forgot about that actually. Maybe it's because we just saw it fall flat on its face.
That's possible. That's possible. So prediction time. Are we going to bleed blue with Evil Geniuses? Are we going to march forward there with Forward Gaming? What's your take on it?
I like it. That was good.
Thank you.
That Klink's final pick, huh? For Sumail there. I always like seeing this OD Faceless Void combo. I think it's that Chronosphere sets up great damage and steal for the OD, and then the hammer being laying down with the Sanity's Eclipse. So with that logic, I'm going with Forward Gaming.
Okay. What about you, Kips? What are we thinking?
I'm leaning towards the side of EG because you're going to have to roam into mid to deal with this Klink shutting down your OD, and that's going to, you know, either fail or give so much space to Luna that you can't really catch back up to that. And they've got a really strong pushing lineup going here. A lot of tower damage, a lot of teamfight presence, so I'm going with EG.
All right. I am going to have to bleed blue. I really enjoy the draft coming out from EG. I like that Luna. I think they've got, like you said, really strong pushing potential. And I think sometimes that Forward struggles a little bit to get back into the game if they start to lose that advantage. So going EG, and Production's going to go with Forward Gaming.
Good choice.
Evening it up. Did I get my point for the previous game yet, by the way?
Did we put those on? I thought we did during the break.
I did not. So unless somebody else did, I mean, all right.
Gimme.
Okay, fair.
I'm not concerned.
Fair.
I'm in the lead.
It was just Kips, right? Or was it
well,
production as well?
Probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Because production's always got to be contrary, right?
What is this 9 million over here?
9 million. Is production
Wait
cheating?
a second.
Production.
They're disqualified.
We'll have words about that in the next break.
Lost in the woods, are you?
Alrighty.
They're all.
I don't know. I love the addition of the chat wheel. You know, having all the different phrases, having my party horn. Party horn is my favorite. The best again was still that guy that had an actual party horn and would open his mic and do it back at me.
Say that to my face. What is that about? It's a fun chat going on here.
I think my favorite one is Legion says like nice mustache.
Okay.
I didn't see the Arteezy part.
Fighting words. Like, these two teams obviously know each other very well. I imagine that they are also each other's top scrim partners, so there must be a lot of like mind games going on in this draft as well that we're not even aware of.
Just some friendly bants between friends, right?
Well, they're very familiar with one another, you know, even just in this universe, and obviously his history with EG. So amongst many of the storylines, SVG, former coach for them a couple seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, they do go for that aggro try that we were discussing here. Be interested to see if they decide to try to block this camp.
No, they just want division, and I think like if it's understandable because it's an Elder Titan, right? You can use those camps to get your damage up and smack people in the face with your stapler. So,
as a chair forward would be keen or wise to that right away. But again, you know, they can still pick up a sentry later on, try to block it, whatnot.
I've heard stapler, I've heard briefcase, I've heard
this
hammer.
This one's a baby rattle.
Like,
yeah, this
baby rattle. Okay, that's a new one for me.
It
just
depends
got an
on
arsenal
your
of weapons, apparently.
Depends on your hat. So we will see Universe doing the typical, just cutting the creep wave and going in jungle with that. So I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy in that top lane just yet. Bottom lane should be a bit of a slugfest. Again, we see the Aspa Spirit just walking around, casually adding a little bit more damage to the punching potential of that Elder Titan.
So the interesting part is that the Tiny right now is not yet bottom, so this is not a try versus try. Only an aggro try coming out from EG.
He's at the shop right now up there. See, yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to TP, but there you go.
Yeah.
Realizing that he is needed at that bottom lane.
I imagine that they realized that a while before. Maybe they wanted to give the two heroes that were already there a little bit more experience.
Did he get level 2? Yeah, he did. Okay.
Or, yeah, the other way around could be as well.
Yeah. So now he has that combo. And they don't know he's down here yet. Obviously, he's missing on the map, so they can safely assume that he might be in the area, but...
He's waiting for that perfect toss, you know he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking at Fly over there like, come a little bit closer here, Fly.
He's going to wrap around. Yeah, Fly would be the ideal target, of course.
Oh, they spot him. Look, immediately they turn around. The avalanche coming through here.
There you go.
There's going to be the toss right back. Hi there, Fly. And they should be able to find this as their first blood.
And that goes back to that's all because of getting level 2 on him in the beginning. That was completely planned out by Forward Gaming. So talk about a great heads up, and that's a strategy at its finest right there. That's what you expect from these top tier teams, obviously in NA.
It's so much fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, come to the realization, right, of why they do the things that they do.
That's the funnest part for me. Always first assume that they know what they're doing, and then try to figure out what was that.
Right, right.
They don't always, though. Let's be,
No,
but in that case,
always assume. Always assume first, and then maybe, you know, a couple of hours later, you're like, I give up.
I couldn't figure it out.
That's when you just ask them, and then you're like, oh yeah, I don't know what I was doing.
Why did they pick Weaver into Doom? Let's think
Brady
about
is so
this.
hung up on that.
Don't pick Weaver.
I saw he like made a tweet earlier, just please stop picking Weaver.
Just stop.
I do like the way that they are kind of trying to deal with, you know, the Starks here with the Sand King. That was a good point out, Kips. Like the fact that, you know, if he tries to surge, you can just Burrow Strike. And you've also got that Sandstorm, too, that can kind of contest a little bit.
Double Stout Shield as well on the Darkseer. It's being pointed out right there. Extra protection. What kind of build we're going to see on the Sand King? Honestly, the drums, I go back to that. I really like the new drums in that move speed for the individual hero. I could see Sand King definitely benefiting from that, and wouldn't be surprised to see something along those lines into the eventual Blink, of course, but maybe as a start.
It feels very, like, it's interesting, right? Because you've got these two different tri-lanes facing off against each other. They've got the Elder Titan, obviously, on the side of EG here, which is kind of like the king of tri-lanes, but you've also got a very aggressive MSS, right? Who's going to be able to, you know, get this toss back. And it just feels like they're playing so careful. And again, we get this moment where he's looking for this opening, grabs a creep, unfortunately. But we'll trade off a couple hits here with Crit.
Yes, and the funnest part for me is that you can see that the aggressive heroes are on the defending side, and defensive heroes are on the aggressive side. So it's actually EG who are sitting there, you know, waiting until someone goes on them and reacting, even though they are technically the aggressive tri-lane. They're not really looking for kills here yet. Like, maybe they can do that once they push the wave on the tower, because then obviously the toss back loses its strength. But that is a much slower game than forwards.
I love the solution again for the Darkseer here. We've got 37 and 1 CS. Oh, bottom lane. Looks like Crit might have gotten tossed back there. One more hit from the tower or from Rezo. Will be able to secure that kill. And MSS doesn't have much for mana. Does have himself the, oh, there it is. Right back again. Come back here, Fly. We want to give you a big ol' hug. Time dilation coming out. Luna trying to do whatever she can, but it's not looking really good for Fly right now. They're looking for the stomp. Not going to be able to quite connect it. Fly is actually going to be able to walk away from this engagement.
That was like 5 or 6 hits with no time lock. Oh, okay, he doesn't have it. Never mind.
That'll be why?
Well, I assumed we were going to see the 1-1-1 build with the time dilation, but yeah, he actually doesn't have it, so that would make sense. MSS, he has to avoid the stomp, but...
No, there's going to be the nightmare. A couple more hits from Fly, that should be his kill. Rezo also just joining him to the fight here. Do have a Mango over here on Fly, will use the Brain Sap, try to buy himself a little bit more health and time. And a couple of right clicks here. Just very slowly chipping away at Fly. They will find the kill.
And it's a decent trade-off for losing the rune there. Meanwhile though, I'm actually surprised that this mid lane matchup is still not pivoting the way of Klinks. And I was expecting that by now he'd have pulled ahead, but Yawar is doing a very good job of not letting his brother get to him.
And the brotherly agreement?
Oh, I think the only agreement there is war.
Yeah,
yes.
No, it's very competitive.
I'm sure. I've got a brother, man. You always want to one-up each other. Look at the stack. I can't believe they didn't block that.
That's quite the hefty stack.
Crit to do this?
Well, they're going to have to fight over that for sure.
Oh, yeah, but, you know.
And they can perhaps pull the wave on into that as well.
Oh.
Look at that. First time the Tiny gets space to roam.
MSS playing a little close there with all those Skelly men hitting them.
Yeah. And this is what I was talking about earlier. You can't actually, like, you need to keep that tri-lane pressure up. Because you can't afford to let that Tiny roam on your mid lane. And that's going to definitely be the OD's lane saved now.
I mean, not that I needed more selling on this hero, but Tiny really has been proven to be such a good support. That toss specifically, and again, seeing how Forward Gaming's using it like so many others, just simply as that toss over and over and over again. In this case with that trial lane and getting these initial kills. So and now he's finding himself at the top lane. Like he's been in every single lane so far. He's going to use the Iron Shell to farm even.
Clever. You can do this with Ricky and stuff as well.
What service? What a good teammate,
get
right?
the experience
just like, here you go.
Give him the gold. Win-win.
We're satisfied with that. All right.
I was going to say something about that, but now I'm unsure. Oh yeah, the Tiny.
I can take a moment because we're going to have a Murdering a Fly go on while you're trying to recall. There's a good stomp coming through here now. Crit forced back. I think Rezo probably just wants to go and farm, although it gets us a nice bash. But we'll just go right back.
Now he has it leveled up.
Now he does, indeed.
Yeah, so forcible displacement is what I was getting at.
Yes.
One of the strongest mechanics in the game, and
oh, the epicenter getting used over here in mid on Yawar. He's going to try to hide himself in the trees. This Sand King taking a decent amount of damage, but I think they'll still be able to find this
careful,
He gets to kill, though.
That was a bit of a miscue from S4, sitting way too close to the Astral Imprisonment. Went back in.
He needed to give vision, though. Otherwise, they do not get the last hit there.
Top tower is under attack.
So, yeah. Like, it's a shame that he dies for that, but at the same time, they also needed to get a rotation down there.
To go back with what you were saying, though, Kips, about, you know, forcing different movements, right? Like, that's one of the reasons why, you know, Force Staff is so absolutely valuable, and also one of the reasons why Vengeful Spirit, you know, will get picked up, because it's one of the few heroes that can actually change your placement. So, it's very, very valuable. Everything. Yeah, Glimpse, X marks the spot on the Kunkka.
And I'm one of those people who thinks that Fudge will always be powerful because he has the most true displacement spell in the game. Because it does not require the opponent to have been in a place previously, like Glimpse or X marks. It does not put Pudge himself in the danger zone, and you do not have to go in yourself.
Oh, they jump over here onto Rezo. He's going to be able to time walk out, just narrowly missing that stomp.
That's 4 heroes down the bot lane, and he just leaps out.
Choosing not to Nightmare there to set up the Echo Stomp. It could have been a potential, but maybe the safer play by S4. He's still in the area.
Yeah, this is not a great place for you right now. S4 does use that Sandstorm. He's going to try to just use it efficiently. Fly going to help him farm up a bit.
Yeah, Sand King's been feeling good about rotating. He hit level 8 in that laning phase, and we saw him go mid. Obviously, now again he died as a result of getting that kill, but he's been finding himself at the bottom lane. But assume he's going to go back to farming now.
He's making a lot of space though. At the same time, you know, they're constantly thinking about, you know, where's the Sand King? Did get that gank off over on the mid lane, like we said, and it's just being very active, and I like that. I like how active S4 is as an offlaner when given these types of heroes.
Well, he might have to get active again soon because the wave is pushing in on the mid lane and Lion S4 lurking. His smoke broke.
Is that a second observer ward right there? Yeah, what's the duration of the other? No, they're similar.
No, they just want the vision. They want to make sure that they can see things on the side. And I do have the epicenter up and running again over on S4, so this is looking like a potentially good setup here. Nightmare coming out, nice avalanche being thrown out by Tiny. Turn their attention again over onto the Darkseer. We'll be able to go connect with the Burrow Strike. There's going to be the time dilation. Toss comes out though. They've got their eyes on Flight. They'll take him down, and they're actually going to run this Darkseer back. And it's looking like Tiny might be in for some trouble. There's a lot of damage coming out from this Luna, but they actually can't finish it up, and they lose the Luna themselves. Now there's going to be the Surging coming out here for Resolution. He's just going to chase down S4. Does get a nice bash, and he uses the Chrono just for good measure.
He could have picked
Bounty Rune!
Bounty Rune!
Bounty Rune!
Bounty Rune! Oh
Runes.
my god. GG.
Resolution, great player. Not so much right there. No.
4.5 out of 5.
4.5 out of exactly. Never give perfection.
To
That's why we do that right there, man. No, but that was he leveled up Chronosphere mid-fight because he hit level 6 after his first or second kill, I think it was, and then that's why that Chronosphere came out eventually too. So. Yeah, great job by him as well as a team effort. And again, trying to kill the Darkseer initially, that's going to be a tough kill.
Yeah,
always.
no matter what. And Smell was actually a little bit late on rotating in there because you could see that he was, you know, he came into the fight, he was ready to connect for the follow-up, but by the time that his damage was really needed, he just wasn't there yet. So he's going to be threatening the bot lane here now. And I would be surprised if I'd see any more attempts on Resolution. They saw he could get out now. And Universe actually coming in here as well.
Maybe just looking to push the wave, or
it's almost like they're baiting. There's been so much action down here that they probably just assume they're going to try again with the Clinks was down there as well, but he's instead going elsewhere. Building that medallion as you'd expect. Sand King queuing out the Blink next now. He had the Put a Defiance queued up for a bit there, but changing his mind, figuring he needs to get the initiation.
well, he is kind of the main source of initiation coming out from the side of EG. Like, you know, maybe you can get a cheeky, you know, Echo Stomp or, you know, use the Nightmare and whatnot. But definitely, they need that big grand entrance sort of thing to make everybody scramble, make a little chaos. And they do know that he's over here. Like trying to bait, maybe.
Again, it's Darkseer, though. You got to be really confident.
Yes. And I think that Universe was also Universe. I'm saying Universe. Losing my train of thought there.
Well, Universe on Darkseer?
Yeah. No, I was going for something else. Please, please ignore. Okay, I'm interested to see, by the way, that we're going back to, after not seeing Helm of the Dominators for a long time, back straight into Helm of the Dominators. We've seen nothing but on Darkseer.
Yeah, it's too good on him. I think it's just with the Iron Shield value. Running at people, farming with it, and you see right here, surging up the Centaur.
Being a little cheeky here when it's flying. We'll just burn down his creep instead.
Or will he? Thing's tanky,
oh,
man.
wow. Yeah, 60 hit points. Fly?
I think that's worth a brain sap. Come on.
He's trying.
Nope.
He's going to deny
the tower. All right.
Smart.
Nice play there.
And he kept him busy, too.
He's got an Alpha Wolf right there he could take. Not going to yet. I saw Mask of Madness just purchased by Faceless Void. He's on top of the net worth chart with his OD partner, so safe to say Forward Gaming in a very good spot. And yeah, look at that, OD, you are going the Midas. And Drum's just finished.
He just finished up the Blink Dagger on the Sand King. That's going to be a big deal here. Looking forward to seeing what they decide to plan with this.
Well,
they dusted. They toss the the Lich maybe, get the Goo Goo Eyes going. I guess not.
You could tell he was trying, but
yeah, I think this may be a little bit too far away. Chronosphere gonna get used in the mid lane though, and they find a kill onto Fly. Echo Stomp gonna put everybody else into a little nap state.
Not the most value Chrono ever, but it's gonna push mid tower out of this.
Not sure if they could take it. And I think the rotation where they lost Arteezy before was very costly for EG. Because you want to rotate that Luna into the jungle, really get her farming those stacks that you hopefully made before. But instead she's got her Mask of Madness. She's working her way towards the Dragonlance right now, but this is not the speed you want to have. And they have nobody to really create space for her right now.
I'm just saying, get out of my jungle. I don't appreciate you being here. Can't obviously get that kill just yet unless he's got the lockdown. They do have the Fiend script, so I'm not sure if they were thinking about possibly using it on the Darkseer.
Yeah, Clinkz is supposed to be that though, right? I mean, again, speaking of the Space Creator using that term, but it's Sumail has his medallion now, and I don't want to say he hasn't been trying. I mean, we've seen it a couple of times, but unfortunately just hasn't come through yet. And this is, again, we saw Clinkz the previous game, completely different circumstances and teams and everything, but did underperformed in that one as well. So at least as of right now, Clinkz has not been the most impressive.
You know, I'm guessing that they're estimating their chances here and they're saying, all right, as long as forward doesn't push these towers too fast, the Luna is actually going to catch up and outfarm. So they're not feeling the hurry to do things just yet. But she does have to, like, I keep coming back to this, that she's not really a solo core now because of the Clinkz pickup, but it is still worrisome that he is trailing behind and he is the one who has to, you know, go toe-to-toe with a OD.
There was an SPG there, but...
and the Faceless Void.
He's out. He is out. Little tower gonna put some damage on. There's gonna be Fly TPing in. This is a little bit scary, I think, but
again, it's fine. It's a Bane. Are you gonna dive a Bane? If it goes wrong, you're putting yourself up for the possibility of a real counter engagement. So forward, just, you know, take the tower very calmly.
Well, they don't mind seeing TPs there too, because you look at top lane. Faceless Void, he's pushing the tier 2 tower, and so knows that at least a couple of people can't TP up here now, from what he got information on. And he's going to feel very comfortable doing so. In fact, S4 is wrapping around the mid. EG is really trying to force a fight in this middle lane, use that Blink Dagger. But they're not able to get it. Forward Gaming is just doing the better job at reacting right now.
They keep dodging it pretty hard too. They at this point they know that he's got it, because he's been showing up in lanes and whatnot, so I think they get the D ward over here.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Tier 1 mid trade for a tier 2 top, not great.
Yeah, look at them trying to like sweep through the woods over here on the side, figuring that there'd be some sort of setup. Tower gets taken though in the mid lane. They've also lost the tier 2 top though. Rezo's just having a lot of space and is able to hit quite a bit here. In fact, charging after Arteezy is going to be able to quite close that gap. There's a lot of people here though. Fly turning back around. We'll find multiple people. The toss-up coming out from Tiny. Then they'll follow up with the Echo Stomp.
Yeah, they chose not to take the Nightmare off him. A little risky, but he is fine, and he's going in.
Still going, yeah. He wants to find this opening couple match. The Avalanche coming through. Brain Sap will buy him again a little bit more time to jump forward. Coming out from the Sand King, they'll be able to go. They put out the Earth Splitter, and they're actually going to be able to take down Fly very, very quickly. And they'll find Crit as well, and they're going to find S4. But there's the Chronosphere. This is exactly what Rezo was waiting for. This is his moment. We'll be able to maybe get that. Yeah, there it is. Final hit coming through. SVG pulling him in over here, giving them the Google eyes. They'll find the kill on Sumail.
EG choosing to fight on the stairs there into the high ground. That was them, I suppose, saying we feel like we have the stronger team set up and everything, but you don't. I mean, you have a Chronosphere, Chain Frost, OD Hammer, like, and then obviously on top of the Darkseer vacuum wall that really set that all up. That was a odd decision from EG in terms of choosing to fight there, because they definitely could have kept running.
When they were still up on the high ground with the entire group, and, you know, baiting out with Fly, I think one of the bigger problems there for them was that Crit actually threw out his Stomp.
Yeah.
And then for not really any return, and that's on cooldown for quite a bit. Faceless Void could go in and basically set up that team fight without being worried for too much of a follow-up. By the time they were fully engaged, there was, well, the OD save coming in great. And it's going to be so hard actually for EG to pump out all of that physical damage that they have from the Luna, from the Clinkz, into a lineup with this many saves.
I feel like Arteezy has yet to take a good fight here in a lot of these engagements. It's going to be very detrimental. Do you think he just kind of hangs out back in the jungle now and just chills for a bit?
I thought that's what he was going to do in general.
Yeah. again, if it wasn't evident before, you would figure for EG now, it's they realize they cannot just engage head on. They need that Luna to go beast mode here when it comes to her farm. And so yeah, definitely spend some time getting said items. She was working on the BKB at least next, which is a start.
What are heroes here though? Are they engaging up to?
They're looking at.
He's getting guarded.
Yeah, they'll use the Nightmare. They'll follow up with the Echo Stomp. Oh, they've got the Fiend's Grip as well. And they'll just take him down with that. Epicenter still chasing over here. SVG might be able to actually get out. He gets surged up. Nice
spot.
Fuck you coming out. And there's going to be the Avalanche, though, turning back around. Crit in for some trouble. He's going to get taken down here. Fly is very, very slowed down by that wall from earlier. They'll actually just go, search up the OD, put in the Astral Imprisonment, and wait very patiently on the other side. The toss comes up, and Brainstab keeps Fly alive just a little longer, but MSS will eventually get himself that kill.
That's more like it, though. That's a great trait. You get the Void kill, you keep all of their heroes busy while your Luna is farming, and...
Oh, no, SVG.
Sometimes you get a little bonus kill on top.
Yeah, that's more like it for Klinks. That's what he likes, of course, free kill.
And this 1-by-1 style is way more what EG needs to be going for.
Nothing like a bounty rune with a side of dead hero.
Lynch is already dead, though.
Extra dead. Super dead.
But you know when you like your fries extra crispy or something
exactly,
like that?
like extra supersize it, you know, extra dead, super dead.
Okay, I can get behind it.
Kona.
And yeah, as soon as Arteezy gets this time to farm, he actually just rockets up there. Nobody who can keep pace with the Luna, especially not someone who has been getting these stacks. He had quite a bit of them, especially at the start.
Yeah, they've been taking care of the jungle for Luna pretty well, occasionally finding different stacks here and there. And then stacking just for himself as well.
Yeah, so even though the score looks pretty dreadful, EG is going to know this as well. They are the kings of coming back in games like this, the kings of farming their way out of situations like this. They probably know that this score doesn't mean anything as towards, you know, their net worth. Their ability to fight, though, is still compromised, obviously, because of the way that these lineups work, the amount of saves on forward, and the general, well, fragility of their own heroes as well.
I do think the BKB is a great answer this game, though, right now for Luna, and she's going to have it here just in a couple seconds. And I say that because really a ton of damage it's going to be blocking. You still get caught in the Chronosphere, sure, but you see all the follow-up damage, you know, from OD and the hammer being laid down. It's things like that. In fact, speaking of OD, he's in trouble. He's going to die here. Fiend's Grip on top of the Echo Stomp, and no chance to react for Yawar. So going a little bit blind. Mid lane, meanwhile, Luna's caught, though. And I think Forward might be overall pleased with that.
Yep. I was about to say that's very uncharacteristic of him to just blindly walk up a high ground, but he didn't want to go up the high ground. He wanted to do the pincer movement and meet, you know, what he thought was going to be the protection that was coming in for the Luna from the back. He was going to meet those people, and instead they just focus him down.
West 4 just a little bit too tricky here. Not going to be able to find that kill. SVG, though, despite having that Frost Shield, not going to be enough to save him.
The damage of the Cling Shield is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, if you can keep them near it, it can definitely do some decent damage. So there. See the Orchid and works. Bloodthorn eventually down the line. He's got level 15 talent there, the Searing Arrow damage. 4 Clinks as well. Pipe choice for Sand King. This side in this game, and kind of goes back to why the BKB is going to be so good on Luna. You know, tons of magic damage actually surrounding this Faceless Void, and the pure damage thrown in there.
Just look at this whole area, just nicely stacked up, being able to clear out these camps. Going to give Arteezy good infusion of gold, and seems fairly safe too.
They've been doing a good job guarding it with wards as well, and it's relatively hard for the Radiant to invade over here. Especially since I imagine they're going to be keeping tabs on Roche now. And because Forward is running out of towers. They have 2 more outer towers to take. One of the next goals is going to be Roche and then high ground. Smil went back for a hand of Midas.
He got that fairly early,
yeah, he got that early.
Yeah.
Didn't see it.
Yep.
Using it to fire after the medallion, I think. Actually, he might have even cut it before the medallion. Either way, it's had that the Orchid again, just around the line now, corner now even.
Yeah, so really that pick-off style. And one thing that they're going to have to do if they want to run that is really split up on the map and force different engagements. They're going to have to throw heroes at the problem from time to time.
What do you think about RTZ joining in on this gank here instead of just continuously farming? Thoughts?
Both other times that he came out of his cave, it didn't exactly end well for him.
So you're not liking it.
I mean...
Clinks, he's dead.
Yeah, there he is.
There's only plus 20 gold to get from those? Jeez. That's probably good.
Like, I guess in this case he's saved because his teammate died for it.
Yep.
No, but this is good if you just, you know, need the presence on this side of the map to be able to fight. And they probably had information that indicated that at least one or multiple heroes were bottom, so if you bring 3 on the smoke top, you're going to be able to fight. In that case, like, there's not much risk in him going up there. A lot
They know that, they know S4 is there. They've got the dust. There's going to be the toss, followed up with the frost shield. Nice burrow strike away, though, where S4 trying to run himself back. We'll get the vacuum off. And they're going to go ahead and use the Sinister Gaze. In comes UR. He says, very nice. I will be taking that kill.
Oh, Chrono, that's missed it looks like. Or did he kill somebody? No, he didn't kill anybody with it.
They're about to kill someone right now, though.
And look at that. Good old Roshan.
Chrono's down, but that's going to open up road for them.
So that's going to be an Aegis now on Faceless Void. Who do you give this to, Kips? Faceless or the OD?
Hard to say. I think Faceless is a way better carrier for it, just because when, you know, OD dies, his stacks are gone.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do there? Get new stacks, I suppose, but Faceless Void is extremely irritating to deal with again.
Now that sheepstick coming through over here. We'll be able to go to the wall vacuum. They'll go and they'll drop the Sanity's Eclipse on the back end, though. Sumail, he's just chipping through everyone, but he can't finish up with that Astral Imprisonment, the BKB getting used over here on Rezo. They're just going to reset.
I mean, I guess it wasn't a complete disaster, to be fair, but man, EG is really feeling confident about taking fights, and it's almost head-scratching because Chrono was down, but you still had Eclipse, you still had Darkseer Vacuum Wall, and we saw both of those come out in succession. So there's just so many big ultimates here on the Radiant side that it's hard to manage around all of them.
This was a very understandable decision, though, because they wanted to wait until the Elder Titan was back up, and you can see that Forward has now completely backed off from the pit again, because they don't actually want to be dealing with that stomp. So EG is going to use that a little gap in the action to see if they can find themselves either a pick off or no, they're not going to go for that straight up, or no. Just waiting for Sumail to join.
They might be able to find themselves a tiny over here in the woods.
Chain Frost is up. Chrono's probably off cooldown soon.
Look how close they are. They're right in the vicinity now. Sentry on sentry.
It's so close. You know it's coming. Again, that Chrono is, 10 more seconds for Faceless.
Oh, EG, you have to be so careful. They're fighting up into a choke point, like you said, too. Like,
so far, it's been working out somewhat here.
there's the smoke. Surge.
Kind of feel like it's coming, though.
Yeah,
They're baiting out easy, it feels like. If they get the BKB off on him before the Chrono pops, he's going to survive.
They do have the ward over there to keep tabs.
But they can't see him.
How are they so close?
Okay, they drag up, they find S4. It's going to be the push over. Immediately, the Chronosphere comes out over onto 3 different heroes. And Rezo just wailing away over here onto Fly. Not going to be able to quite finish him off. There's going to be the Eclipse coming out, though, from the Luna. And there's going to be the Epicenter as he's thrown into the air, too. SVG is going to get taken down. The Chain Frost gets a couple bounces, but again, they have that BKB up and running over on RTZ. And there's going to be the re-engagement, though, coming out from the Tiny. The toss up over onto S4. It's going to be able to burrow strike himself down to the low ground. And EG hasn't lost anyone. The Tiny actually buying back during all that. Fly says, chill out, man. You need to take a couple moments. But Rezo, he's back up. He's going to turn back. Oh, there's going to be the Eclipse. Sorry, the Astral Imprisonment coming out again. And are they going to be able to burn him down? It's looking pretty good. They find that kill on Rezo. They get the stop off, too, over here onto the OD. Oh, man. In comes Luna. RTZ just going to chip him down as fast as he can. And it's actually not going to get the last hit as he's placed into the Astral Imprisonment.
That's a value play, I think, there. So EG...
Huh? Oh, no, we're not done yet. MSS gets a kill on Sumail.
As a good way to at least get something out of that entire engagement. What was that? 3 smokes, several wards,
oh my gosh, yes.
several sentries, and a whole heck of a lot of confusion. I think that S4 there is probably the worst person you can vacuum up the cliff, just because he can just go out again. And
in fact, he did.
Yeah.
the chaotic fight is what won in that fight for EG. That's how they need to play these fights. So obviously great execution on their part there. And what I mean by that, it's you had Faceless Void, S4 doing his thing in the back lines with the Epicenter and everything after he re-engaged. But the Faceless Void, as big of a Chronosphere was hitting 3 heroes, including Luna, there was 0 follow-up damage because they were busy being distracted by the Sand King in the back lines. And again,
an amazing stomp from Crit on 3 people on the back line, which is why you saw no OD right clicks come out throughout that Chronosphere at all.
It's really interesting, too, the fact that they've got a couple saves. Like, you've got the save on EG with the Nightmare, right, if you want to kind of, like, just buy a little bit more time for someone. But also the OD with the Astral Imprisonment has been so valuable, especially when you're dealing with, you know, something like a Clinks, right? Because Clinks wants to use that strafe, wants to put out as much damage as quickly as possible. But when you're in the Astral Imprisonment for your teammate or whatnot, you just can't do anything. It just immediately interrupts and you have to reset.
We have a Solar Crest finish for Clinks, the Orchid. And we saw the value of that last fight. It's what really helped kill the Faceless Void in the end.
Tiny's on the prowl.
Down Fly. Again, Roshan's still up after all of this. Regen most of his life, just about there. But I could see Forward Gaming waiting for everything to be ready, and it looks like it is. And yeah, obviously they would probably like some kind of pick first. I mean, Bane's dead, but only 15 more seconds.
And he's got the buyback as well.
It's so risky to fight into that pit without any sort of a pick off, especially when you have, you know, the Elder Titan obviously is a very popular choice for dealing with that, but
I like that item on Crit as well.
The Halberd?
Yes. So, you know, who cares about resolution being in his chrono when, the Elder Titan is going to be sitting so far back. If you actually want to target the ET with your chrono to take him out of the fight, you're going to have to go straight through all of EG.
Right.
So that's really not feasible. So in most cases, he's going to be able to get that halberd off and just disarm resolution. Or in case he gets the right positioning, he could also disarm the OD. No damage for you. Because the last time we saw Rezo hitting people in the chrono, he himself was not dealing that much damage.
Right. A lot of it's coming out from the OD, right?
Yes.
Being able to just start stacking up. And
Yor has a Hex.
yeah, we saw that last fight, I believe.
It's a lot of it in the end comes down on who's going to get the jump on who first again. Who's going to get baited? Because I do believe that EG still needs to bait out that fight. They can't go first.
And we do get the Blink Dagger picked up now over on the Darkseer, so that'll be even better for positioning.
Yeah, net worth even favoring EG slightly, albeit call it basically even at this
Pretty
point.
minimal.
I mean, you even see the lead, and the graph looks like it's been a decent lead for it. It's only 4K. I mean, it's nothing to up there. This really, as you'd expect with these two teams, especially, it's going to be a matter of who wins that next big team fight, right? And it could be anyone. It's just a matter of that positioning and who gets the better initiation. The fact that we haven't even seen the first Roshan yet, though, at 32 minutes in, and again, we were potentially seeing it, but then it got stopped eventually. It's pretty crazy on top of that.
Yeah, so both teams have the requirements to do it. There's a Solar Crest on Sumail, and then over on the other side, they've had the Vlads up for a long time. Both teams can do it, but neither team feels comfortable.
BKB for OD coming. Got 3,200 gold saved up on him. That's Sanity's Eclipse multiplier now at level 20. And you see Luna also doing level 20, 8 to all stats, not the sexiest talent, but does work.
Love the way that you phrase that.
I mean, yeah,
it's kind of boring, but
very utilitarian, right?
Yeah.
It's not you see that you think, ooh, give me that, give me those +8 stats.
Maybe
baby.
some people really like stats.
Weren't you the one that? Weren't you the one?
No, king shaming.
I'm so sorry.
Somebody the other day was saying that they missed the stats.
I missed
the stats.
Yeah,
that was you.
I missed
You're
the stats.
You're a stats fan.
I missed
so that's a sexy talent for you, Moxie.
Warlock mid and putting points and stats in my Shadow Ward and just running circles around the Shadow Fiend.
And are we going to see the same kind of standoff here? Look at this smoke from EG. Are they going to try the same thing again?
I don't know. I mean, they're about to find themselves an OD if they play their cards right. But look at the positioning coming out from both sides here. It's almost like they suspect something. There is a BKB picked up though now.
Well, it doesn't have it yet. It's being delivered. So yeah, we'll have it now.
Now he does. Fly.
I don't think Rezo realizes.
Oh, there's a jump forward. Burrow strike. Follow up with that Echo Stomp, just in case they committed real hard on it, but Reza's still taking a little bit of a nap there in the mid lane.
And then both sides just back off and go back to farming.
Yeah, it's a tense game. We've hit that spot of both teams are very aware that it could change very quickly.
And this is the moment for Reza to go in here. As soon as you know that they're backing off towards bot lane, that's the most distance you're going to get. So all of these hits he's getting in here right now are basically free. And that's going to be half damage on Roche already. Mid lane getting bursted down. Crit needs to deal with this first.
Oh, and they're not going to allow it. Look at that stomp.
No, that looked fun.
Good vacuum. Good vacuum.
That into the Centaur. That's another reason why Home of the Dominator, we've seen that kind of good Darkseer players like Universe, of course, will take full advantage of that Centaur. Vacuum into the AoE stun.
They've got to know. Yeah, you can see them already making their way over there. You know, you've got an Elder Titan. Just throw in the Spirit. Keep tabs on him. Of course, you have to be careful with the Tiny. And again, we have Blink Daggers on the...
That was a bit of an unlucky bash for...
Okay, Vacuum coming through into the wall again. They want to re-engage. There's a Chronosphere on the back end, though. They're going to be able to go and take down Arteezy. He is a non-factor. The buyback coming out immediately. And we do see these little skeleton men. They're doing a lot of damage over here, but Smail, he's actually going to get taken down.
Roche
just wants to be a part of the fight here. There's going to be the Earth Splitter getting dropped in the middle of everything. A nice Echo Stomp coming through. There's going to be the Roche. It's going to get over to Crit. Fly trying to run himself back. It looks like he's not going to be able to do it. And this Chain Frost is doing quite a number over here. Plus the fact that they have the Sheep Stick, of course. We'll go ahead and they'll pop that Aegis. In comes Luna, though. Arteezy's got that Eclipse. He's going to try to chase them back, but they've got the Force Step, and they're just so fast right now with that Surge on top of everything else. Oh, Luna might be in for a little bit of trouble. Crit's still looking for this opening. We'll try to get the Echo Stomp off. We'll find it over onto Tiny. Tiny taking a bit of a nap. In comes S4, thinking maybe we'll get that Burrow Strike in. Avalanche will connect, though. Toss up into the air. And I don't think he was quite expecting that. He's all surged up, though. That is one fast rolling rock right now, but not fast enough because there's going to be the jump out by S4. Sheepstick getting used as well as the Ask for Imprisonment. Arteezy trying to be very, very patient over here. We'll be able to land that Lucent Beam, and they finally get that kill.
I don't know what to make of it. I mean, the Aegis is now taken away. It was a buyback on Luna, so that's of course the biggest thing of the fight, and that's where you would have to favor forward gaming ultimately. But considering how it started, where a pick on a Luna and the Roshan almost being dead at the beginning of that, I think EG can be at least somewhat satisfied with the outcome there.
I'll take your tribute.
And the threat of the Roshan is now gone, so at least EG, who have been showing consistently that they think they can take this game later and outfarm, are going to have a lot more space now. They don't have to guard that pit anymore. It's going to be quite a while before the big man's up again. So you're going to be seeing them divide the map again, just like this.
They just picked up a BKB on the Elder Titan. I would like to just mention
We've
that.
been seeing...
Who was that the other day that went like second item practically?
Yeah, I don't... If it was Z-Free or somebody, it might have been SA actually. But I was actually going to bring up, I've actually seen multiple Elder Titans doing this position for. Yeah, and a level 20 talent as well. That 70 attack speed, it basically allows him to just be a massive right-click threat in your face, because remember, his level 4 natural order means when he himself, it's that minus 100% base armor.
All right, well, so everybody say goodbye, Fly.
Goodbye, Fly.
And following up, though, you have S4 jumping through, and they use the BKB on Rezo, and he's not going to be able to get away. There's too much damage coming out from the Clinks. The rest of the side of Forward Gaming going to have to run themselves backwards here. Arteezy trying to join into the song too. I don't think they're going to be able to quite catch anyone just yet, although they're slowing down a bit. Yeah, look at this. They go right back into the base. They don't want anything to do. Oh, the Sheep Stick coming out, though, over onto S4. He's a little piggy toss back coming out as well, and there's going to be that wall getting dropped to the back end. They're trying to fight themselves out, and it's going to be the Echo Stomp. We'll be able to find the kill over onto Samael, and the rest of the team now, VG trying to run away. You are looking for that opening. Nice jump over coming out from S4. We'll be able to save him there. Might be in for some trouble now. They also have the dust. There's going to be a toss back up. Oh, it clips right onto Crit at the last second. That natural order coming through. BKB is going to have to be used defensively as he's going to TP himself out. Fly, not out of the woods just yet, but he is going to be leaving in a body bag.
He must have a lot of stacks right now. 56.
Look at Arteezy. He's trying frantically to get out there. How much longer on that BKB? Gonna be able to get away. I'm thinking he's gonna be in the light. Ah, there's the vacuum coming through. Ion Shell surged up. Little Darkseer will be able to land the Lucent Beam, but the Avalanche will connect as well. Arteezy trying to hide himself around the corner, and he's in the woods with a lot of very unfriendly faces.
Just don't even look. Just walk away.
Cool guys don't look at explosions, guys.
Darkseer, come on.
Lost in the woods, Arya.
That's 4 heroes dead, no buyback, including Luna, the big one.
Arteezy didn't have a TP scroll while he popped his BKB there.
And they do that without Faceless. I was actually going to wonder if Faceless Foe was buying back right there because he had a buyback the whole time, maybe TP to the Shrine and go for a big chrono, but clearly they did not need him. It was OD running all over them. It started with a toss on a Clinks initially to get him killed off the bat, and then they just kind of plowed from there.
Yeah, Sumo went in way too hard after that kill. I think he forgot about the tiny toss back again, but forcible displacement, man, you can't underestimate it. You're going to places you've never been before, and you're not going to like them.
Yeah, the Astral Imprisonment, speaking of that, you kind of go to, who knows where you go with that.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy. I'm not sure what happens in a different dimension, but nobody seems to be
nobody wants to go there.
Yeah,
no one's saying, please send me there.
Almost level 25 on OD, and again, that 60 more seconds duration of the Arcane and Steel.
This OD has been doing so much work.
Dire's middle tower.
Really, really nice combo. Whoa, the jump forward over here. Rezo sees what he wants, and boy, is he going to go and grab it right now.
That's his level 20 talent right there. 500 time walk cast range.
I think just falling apart from EG here. I think it just always fascinates me how in a game like Dota, one moment of impulsiveness can just upend an entire game. Because EG has been playing decently well. They've made some mistakes. They've also recovered from them really well. I really like that weird standoff thing we had around Roche. And
the peekaboo.
Yeah. You know, they finally get their lucky pick-off, and sadly they push their luck just a little bit too far, and suddenly you're defending high ground.
The heck?
Casual Cardi.
Almost looked like a huge rock.
Yeah, that was a catapult just getting tossed into the base for good measure.
Raining catapults. The end of days is coming.
Yes, and now you're gonna lose a lot of map control on EG.
Bottom shrine is under
which is for a lineup that we said again that if you can get that pick off like they got on Rezo before, that's the way you'd ideally want to take these fights and snowball from there. But if you can't split up the map right, then it's getting that much harder to get the pick off.
Look at Rezo, he's just hitting so hard. He's gonna have that Scotty online fairly soon.
I would actually really like to see an Ags on him, honestly. I think that item is almost undervalued. We've seen it like a couple of times. We've had the Faceless Void, but
I don't think he needs it, though.
He doesn't need it, but it's a case of he's not necessarily needed to be this big damage dealer either. I mean, I have Scotty isn't even an item that helps with that necessarily either. Your OD is the one that's dishing out all the damage we talked about. It sets up things like the freezing or the chain frost, and having that 60-second cooldown for the Chronosphere, basically guaranteeing it'll be up every single fight you engage. I'm having to wait for this long cooldown.
It just feels too utility to me. I think on a position 1 Faceless Void, I would much rather, unless you've been struggling really, really
he's
badly.
Not the position 1 though this game.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, when you put it that way.
Arcane Orb helps. He is going an MKB though, and there's a butterfly on Luna, so that's of course a good answer.
What is that courier? It's a little sea turtle? Oh
yeah,
my god.
That's a Korean courier. I actually have that one.
It's so cute. Alright, sorry. Back to Dota.
25 levels with all kinds of particles. I'll show you after the game.
Alright, looks like this is going to be a very dead Elder Titan, although there's the BKB getting used here over by the OD. He has to run himself back as the BKB is also being used. Nice Chronosphere, though, coming out from Rezo. He's got his own BKB up and running. Arteezy, he's trying to do anything that he can, but he can't really get in there. Just trying to fight here with this Faceless Void. He's just running her down right now. Nice Echo Stomp. Will slow them down just a little bit. Time Dilation coming through. Does have that Eclipse. Trying to put as much damage down, and I think they're going to be able to find. No, he's going to be able to walk out at the last second, and they turn their attention now. Going to be able to take down Cret, and they're still going to town over here, and that's a very dead S4.
Yeah, even if they kill the Faceless there, it's probably the same result, but yeah, that's just got to be salt in the wounds right there.
That last second just deuces.
Time walk. Double buyback. Luna just got her buyback, so she does have one, so the game's not 100% over yet.
They don't have anything big, though. They don't have anything big to really throw at them. They can't stop them from hitting these buildings right now.
Forward.
But they have so much more damage, it feels. And they also have, the lockdown. There's the sheep stick coming out again from UR. And the jump forward coming out from S4. getting pulled right back, and this could be a dieback for him if he's not careful. In fact, it's getting real close on it. Burrow Strike comes through, time dilation. Rezo, he's looking for that opening. He's just so speedy right now. Just very, very mobile, especially when you consider the fact that you have that surge, and he just jumps in right again. He's looking over here at Grit. Needs to be a bit careful because the Fiend Grip's going to come out. Is he going to be able to run out? No, he's going to get taken down. You are still tearing around, trying to just get as much of this in as possible. He's going to try to get himself away, and he needs to be surged up like yesterday. Does look like he's going to be able to make it out, though. And the rest forward is just slowly walking. Oh, boy, SVG.
Okay, so
the slowest chase ever. Do you have MSS standing nearby, though? Might be able to get the avalanche off, buy them a bit more time. And again, here comes the OD. There's the Hex coming out. They try to take down. Oh, beautiful vacuum wall combo here. Fly trying to get himself away. They will end up losing Crit. And the silence over here on the OD, this is looking a bit scary right now. There's too much damage coming out. They'll take him down. Followed up with the avalanche. They will find a kill over onto Fly. Sumail still looking for this opening. Not going to be able to get those hits off. Nightmare going to get thrown over here. Arteezy just going to go right back to hitting the creep wave.
Darkseer's been doing work. Universe, again, he's obviously we know he's so good on this hero throughout time, but man, it seems like every time it's a 3 or 4 man vacuum wall. It just makes it look so easy. And EG, again, staying in it, they at least do enough to hang on into this game and give themselves a fighting chance 45 minutes in, but it is going to be that 14,000 net worth lead now, one of the biggest we've seen. Clinks, he's finding a friend.
It's a very hopeful shrining here, SVG.
Well, he took off the silence, so now he doesn't get the damage amp from the Orchid either, and he is fine.
Yeah, nice Lotus Orb there to purge. Speaking of Darkseer, he actually gets a Crimson Guard now. It's going to mitigate plenty of damage actually from that Clinks as well. And okay, he gets the parallel wall. This is an ability or the talent that I've seen picked up a couple times where it's it's hard to use it very effectively, it seems like. So I'm really intrigued to see how Universe uses it here.
The potential for some really awesome plays, for sure.
And honestly, I would have liked to see a BKB pickup on the Clinks, just because every single fight I see him getting removed, getting hexed, getting stunned or gazed to death. And I think he could have done a lot more of that big damage output if he... Oh, DD for Rezo.
Oh, he doesn't grab Arteezy, though. He's making his lucky stars with Strike coming through. They'll be able to get that vacuum up. BKB coming out from Luna. She's got that Eclipse. Rezo, though, he still really, really wants to get the skill over onto Luna. Is going to have to run himself away, though. Is separated from the rest of his team. And I think you just reset after that. If he had gotten that Chronosphere on her.
Yeah, that was probably GG if so, but did not.
SVG, hello? I guess he's trying to bait maybe a little bit. Those are the parallel walls coming through. Again, the slow coming through. They've got their eyes over here onto S4. He's going to be turned into a sheep. They take him out. He's no longer a threat. Look at Clinks just fighting himself over here.
That wasn't a vacuum wall, but that was actually a great wall nonetheless because it just completely zoned them out. They had no chance of responding to their teammate dying.
It's a ramp, basically. It's literally putting sides on the ramp. You have
well, the other wall's not doing... That's what I'm talking about with the parallel wall. It's so hard to use effectively for both of them. But
it was just a little bit over more, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
But that secures them the Roche here because there's no S4 to cause problems. Again, you do have the Elder Titan, but you don't have the Lunar Eclipse. Your big team fight is just not there to contest. They're going to have to give this up. Oh, especially if this happens here. Again, beautiful vacuum. They drop the hammer. Oh, Arteezy trying to find himself out. He did just pick up that Satanic, and he's doing a decent job here. Still chasing down over here after Rezo. BKB is off, though. Can they find anything else? All right, jumping forward against Resolution. The toss back over onto Luna into the avalanche here. The Arteezy's in so much trouble. The BKB is going to come out. They go and they use the Greaves. He's just trying to fight through her, and they will finally take down Luna. And they're going to turn their attention to Crit over here. Rezo just trying to man-fight him. It's fairly tanky. He's taking so much damage, though. They'll find that double kill. They'll also find the kill over onto Sumail. Fly, fighting to the last breath, but will get taken down. That's a team wipe. And the G gets called. Forward Gaming, taking game number 1.
Yeah, that was an impressive play from them. And again, their lineup, you see MSF having some extra fun there at the end, of course. As they should be. I mean, it's just a game, though, with that in mind. It's 1-0 lead, however, for Forward Gaming. But yeah, that team fight was so impressive. I go back to Darkseer specifically. Vacuum wall combos were just completely on point throughout the game. And they played very well as a team, so props to them.
Yeah, their synergy looked really, really well throughout the entire time. You know, really nice placement. Did have like a couple, just had that one chrono right that was so close to catching Arteezy, but wasn't quite there. But in the end, it didn't matter because eventually he got tossed right back in anyway.
No, not at all. I think that's the only time I saw a team fight spell really whiff from them. And it's also, that was the only time they really went in when the OD wasn't there to follow up on the Faceless Void. So they just reset after that and they take the game anyway. I do want to say, though, that Crit walking in there, trying to be that carry, like a couple of times I thought he could actually pull it off. And that was very impressive. I love seeing these late game Elder Titans just going toe-to-toe with the big carries. Like, you thought you had armor? No, you don't.
Yeah, that was looking pretty dire for like half a second there. But we are going to take a look at the brackets up on for NA.
Nice clean brackets. I like it. Forward is up 1-0 as we mentioned. Flying Penguins versus J-Storm. That's going to be the later match. Of course, qualifying spots for each of those winners there, and they'll be playing in the major. And then you lose, you bounce down to the lower bracket. I'm not 100% sure who would play who down there. If it would be the loser of this playing Complexity or Team, but either way, it's going to be a tough challenge, of course, and then ultimately one of those teams from the lower side will move on as well.
I cannot wait for the winners of this will end up being playing Team, I believe is what is being whispered into
the loser of the okay.
Yeah,
so
loser. Sorry, loser.
Of
Yeah.
this. Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
The winner of this will be playing at the major.
At the major,
against many other teams.
Got my words a little bit backwards there, but really looking forward to seeing the Flying Penguins game later. I'm pretty.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun.
Pretty hyped for that. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with more EG versus Forward Gaming.